So we had a Nintendo partner showcase yesterday, and it was honestly like not that interesting in my opinion. It was like, I was mainly hoping that we would see Duskbloods, the next From Software game. It was not there. Jor brought up a good point. He thinks that maybe it's being published by Nintendo, which would make it a first party game, sort of. So they might have an official Nintendo Direct for first party stuff where they show off the Duskbloods and possibly even maybe an Animal Crossing game. It's about time, just saying. But the partner showcase, most people were like, eh. But what I want to talk about is what happened at the very, very end. And this clip from Nico B, I think, sums up an interesting phenomenon that kind of took some people by surprise. Just to take this in, okay? This was his reaction to the end of the showcase.
Next is our last announcement.
Okay. I was like, that better not be the last thing.
From all of us
oh,
here
fuck
at
me.
Sorry. It's just instantaneous guttural reaction, dude. But I think that a number of people were like, oh, because they were hoping for Duskbloods. They're hoping to see Hidetaka Miyazaki. And then...
Okay. I was like, that better not be the last thing.
From all of us
oh,
here
fuck.
Sorry. It's just funny. Now, people reacted to this kind of surprised. Like, for example, the gaming dude replied, am I missing something? Because why is Bethesda suddenly hated? Suddenly? Basically, the moment Todd showed up on screen, the chat went crazy. People started losing their minds, being like, seriously, this is your final reveal? And Reese from Kiwi Talks, who's done a bunch of interviews, we've looked at his stuff, great interviewer, has done a bunch of interviews with Bethesda staff and everything. He said, why the hell do people have such a hate boner for Todd Howard? I'm going to offer my thoughts in a second. Patience. Every Bethesda dev that I have interviewed, over 8 at this point, praises this guy as an amazing dev, great leader, and every Bethesda game he's less involved in has suffered. I reckon Todd Howard will go through, when he retires, what George Lucas went through after Disney butchered Star Wars, and everyone was like, OMG, George, we're so sorry. So here's my thing, okay? I think this guttural reaction to Todd at the end of the Direct is less about Todd as an individual, and it's more about his company, frankly. And this surprises people when I say it. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Oh, spiced pumpkin Todd. We have to light the candle so he may shower us in his detail. This surprises people when I say it, but Todd is a legend of the industry. I know we meme on him all of the time, constantly. So much so, it's almost like an addiction. I get it, okay? The memes are funny, and I participate and contribute a lot. Chug it later. But, like, Todd is a legend, and it is factually true that the more he's involved in a game, historically, the better it has been. As the last, 8 to 9 years have decreased in his involvement, the quality of their projects has dropped precipitously. Okay, Bethesda games were always kind of buggy and a little broken. Okay, always a little broken. But what we've seen in the last 7 years has been on another level. Like, seriously, their output has plummeted. The quality of the work, I feel, has at the very least stagnated, if not also dropped significantly. And it seems like that's happening at the precise time that he's getting less and less involved, because he's spending a lot more time doing like executive producer stuff, helping with the Indiana Jones game, the Fallout TV show. And to be fair, those projects that he's put his name on have actually ended up being pretty solid. Fallout show, I'm thoroughly enjoying. Is it perfect? No. But bro, if any of those Fallout projects had writing on the level of what we've seen in the show, I'd be very happy. Most people's reactions, I think, to Todd's placement in the show is like justified by their impressions and experience with the company that he represents. That's literally got the logo right next to him. Todd is a legend, and when Todd works on games, they are better. But his company that he's been less directly hands-on involved with over the last few years has major reputational problems, to put it lightly. Okay, to put it very lightly. What is the meme for Bethesda Game Studios now? Every time they do even a free update, it breaks everything. We even talked about on stream the other day how there was a law professor in the UK that was discussing possible new regulations and legal governance specifically around Bethesda, because one of the core doctrines in like most countries' law around consumer protections is that when you buy a product, there's a reasonable expectation of performance, meaning like you buy a car, you expect it to run, and that's reasonable. So if it doesn't run, you can sue them and you have protections, right? For Bethesda, they break that because the consumer protection is like a reasonable person would expect the product to perform. But we're in a day and age where Bethesda's reputation is so bad that according to this legal professor, he's like, a reasonable person's like opinion of Bethesda is that they're going to break it. So a reasonable person's expectation for BGS products is way lower than for everything else, which breaks the idea of a consumer protection because a reasonable person would expect they're going to break it if they update it. So I'm not going to buy the product, right? It's insane. It's crazy. That's where we are.
Intergalactic Pirate Radio donated $10 through Super Chat. I don't think that Starfield is a * bad game per se, but I will definitely say it's not what we all knew it could have been. The decision to use procedural generation was a massive error.
I agree. But what I've said since my review is that like Starfield's not a bad game. It's certainly not a great game or anything. It's just it's just lame and boring. And that's sucky because how do you make being an intergalactic explorer, or not intragalactic explorer, how do you make that boring? It's amazing. It's shocking. But going back to Todd, I think that the reason people react this way is because for basically for basically a decade, whenever Todd shows up, it's to sell something that either nobody wants, that is broken, or that ends up disappointing you. Seriously, in the last 10 years, go back in time, 2016, Fallout 4 is getting a couple of DLCs. They're revving up to hit the creation club is what it was originally called. And then they've got other stuff like Fallout 76 in the works. And if you look back, like everything Todd has revealed from Bethesda Game Studios has ended up disappointing people or being something nobody wanted, like overhauling everything with paid mods and micro DLC, or it's just straight up broken, like with the anniversary or the next gen update for Fallout 4 that literally broke the game for a year and a half before they fixed it. And how they fixed it was by literally undoing the next gen update, which is hilarious. We fixed it. How did you fix it? We took away the thing we did to make it better because it made it worse. And so I don't blame people. If you are a person who for a decade is selling and presenting stuff nobody wants or that's broken and garbage, you shouldn't be surprised when people roll their eyes when you show up on screen. And it sucks because I feel like Todd's legacy, the legacy of Todd, has been significantly damaged by some of those broader big picture decisions that he and other people within ZeniMax and Bethesda Game Studios and Softworks have made with regard to Bethesda. It reminds me of like the delusion around Ubisoft where they think that they can put out broken garbage over here and then occasionally do something you like over here, and that you'll just focus on the stuff you like. Where Ubisoft is like, well, we'll do Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which reviewed really well, people really liked it. And then we'll also put out 3 NFT games that are garbage. But you just focus on the thing you like, and then we'll be good. And it's like, no, it affects your whole brand's reputation. You don't get to just do that. Like it's gonna pull everything down. It's gonna tarnish it. And I think that's why the reception was the way that it was. I think Kiwi Talks is absolutely right that the people who have worked with Todd praise him as an amazing dev, great leader, and every Bethesda game he's less involved in has suffered. And in fact, a lot of those devs, at least part of the reason they left was because as the company grew, they lost that personal connection, not just with Todd, but with other directors and people working at the studio. As Todd has been less involved with those people, they've started to leave. Like a lot of the problems at BGS, I think, are because it's grown to the point where Todd can't be involved in the day-to-day decisions. And so the way one dev described it to me, and I think they mentioned it in a QE Talks interview too. I'm not sure if basically they described Todd's directorial style recently as drive-by directing, where he's trying to not be involved in the day-to-day because he wants the company to function even when he's busy with other stuff. But he still wants to have a say. So what he does is he picks his battles, the specific things he wants to have oversight over, and then he'll do drive-bys where he'll come back into the studio, review something and be like, that sucks, we're doing it this way. And he'll overhaul it and override it. And then they pivot, they redo that whole thing. But then he goes away for a week or two, and then he comes back in and does another drive-by review, and then they pivot and do all of that. And often he's making better choices, and there's a reason he's changing stuff, but it means that there's a lot of wasted time, right? Because if he comes in and it's like, hey, that thing you've been working on for a month, we're going to scrap it and do something else. It starts to make sense why they have to take so long to get anything done. Beyond Todd's involvement though, and this is where, you also have to be fair, and I would hope Todd would even acknowledge this. As the head of a company, if your products routinely are so broken and busted and like laughably unoptimized and what else can everything? It's just, they're disasters regularly to the point where people literally go on Steam and disable automatic updates for your games because whenever you patch it, you break it. That reflects badly on you as a leader. Like the fact he hasn't redone and gutted the QA department is crazy.
Through Super Chat. Hot take. Todd Howard should leave the deadweight of Bethesda behind. Establish a new studio with Coolman and Kirkbride.
I think the difficulty is, for one, Todd is top dog. Why would he need to change? I mean, he's making that sweet Microsoft money. Professionally, I don't think it makes sense for him to leave. And two, going and getting some of those guys, a lot of the old guard at Bethesda that left and has retired, including Bruce Nesmith and Coolman, those guys, they are like leaving because they're approaching retirement age. A lot of them are half retired and they're working on like novels and they're writing stuff and doing stuff like that they're more passionate about. So even if he were to start a new studio, I mean, he's probably got 10, 15 more years of like active work. I think he's in his like early to mid 50s. I guess we could Google it, but like, I don't think Todd has another 50 years to build a company, or 20 years even, 55. So, and I mean, Todd loves Fallout, Todd loves Elder Scrolls and Starfield. And so I wouldn't see him leaving. I wouldn't see it happening. But all of this to say, I get the sentiment. I do think, Todd deserves a lot of respect. My point with Todd has always been, I want him to be more involved because the games he works actively on tend to be way better. And I honestly, genuinely don't know if he either doesn't see how poor the quality control is for Bethesda or if he doesn't care. I genuinely don't know. At this point, he has to know that the meme is literally that they release broken stuff constantly. And I just don't understand how at the top of the company, there haven't been changes to fix it. Like, I just don't know how that happens. If I have a team of employees, which I do, and like, let's say Jacob on the live channel kept uploading videos that were super glitchy and corrupted. Maybe they're being output at 140p or something, and the quality is really bad consistently for like 10 years. If I did not take steps to fix that, I don't think it's Jacob's fault anymore. Like, I think it lands on me for not fixing it, right? Like, I genuinely don't understand how it's still this bad. Which makes me think maybe it's just literally a matter of they don't care. Like, it doesn't matter, Anyway, so there you go. Todd finished out the Nintendo showcase. People reacted passionately.
That better not be the last thing.
From all of us
Oh,
here
fuck.
Shout out Nico B. People reacted passionately. I don't think it's necessarily Todd. I think it's more Todd's company and the output from the last 10 years that has warranted that reaction. I think if Todd showed up in 2016 at a Nintendo showcase, direct, whatever, I don't think the reaction would have been like that, but that's just where we are, okay? He took my thing. Red flag.